So I ended up in the hospital 9 times in the last year and a half, 6 times last year. I ended up 2 heart attacks, a pacemaker, a blood clot in my right lung. And then my doctor says, it just keeps going. And my cardiologist says, Tanya, you got AFib, you have respiratory heart failure, you have systolic heart failure, and you're not doing good. My pulmonary doctor said, you got COPD and you have asthma. And my neurologist says, we don't know what to do with you. In the 2 years, but most specifically the last year, in using these patches, I'm happy to say in the last 2 months, my neurologist said, Tanya, I know you're 77 years chronologically, but inside you're 44 years of age. What have you been doing? And I said, well, I got these little patches. They got stem cell patches. And he says, well, what's the science behind it? And I said, here's my card. Look it up. And then I went to my cardiologist 3 weeks ago, and she said, you don't have to come back for 6 months. I said, well, what about all this? And she said, your tests are good. You're good. You're good. I said, really? So then I went to my pulmonary doctor, and that was 6 weeks ago. And he said, your lungs are clear. And I said, say that again. He said, your lungs are clear.
What is the amazing story, because I'm very consistent with the X39, the amazing story to me is in May, I'm diagnosed with which is a stroke in your eye. Okay. And so they're telling me this is a long recovery, but not anything you can really do anything about. And we just need to check it. And I went to a specialist and all of this. In case this is going to cause a burst or something like that, you're going to lose your vision. So in October of that same year, this is only 5 months later, I went back to the first person who had sent me to the specialist, and he said, wow, like, this is not that this could never happen, but this like never happens. This is 90% healed.
Wow.
Your eye is 90% healed. But here's the thing. Now it has been a year, and I just went for my annual, and he's talking about, oh, this is good, and your prescription doesn't even need to be changed. And I said, well, what about the stroke and the blood clot? And he's like, I don't see one. There's none. Like, so if this had been a different doctor, he wouldn't even know. Like, he had to go back. He goes, yeah, that's right. And he's like, no, there's nothing there. Like, it never happened. So that's one of my testimonies.